How I Relocated a Temporary Subluxation of My Ulnar Nerve After a Fall by AZLAN ADNAN, M.A. Sunday, 5th of October 2025. At about 2000 hours on Friday, 3rd of October 2025, I took a fall that jarred my right elbow. I was coming home from shopping wearing my backpack, a blue IKEA shopping bag full of groceries slung on my right shoulder, and my white cane held in my right hand. With my left hand, I carried an empty cardboard box. As I passed some friendly, playful cats, I decided to pet and play with them. To get down to their level, I began to squat slowly. But as I did so, my center of gravity shifted backward and to the right. To prevent myself from toppling over backwards, I shifted my weight slightly, allowing myself to fall gently on my right side in a rolling motion. My right arm bent, not outstretched, and took part of the fall. I was a little dazed and remember marveling at the gray-blue night sky behind Glomax Centro. I felt fine, with no pain at all, but since I was already lying supine, I decided to rest, catch my breath, and admire the azure gray sky, thinking to myself, is that what they mean by midnight blue? I lay there motionless for a good minute or two. The cats, sensing my stillness, realized I posed no threat and came over to nuzzle me. I stroked them gently under their chins as usual, which they loved. A passerby came along and I asked him to pull my right arm to help me sit up. As I continued playing with the two cats, I noticed a minor abrasion on my right elbow. Nothing serious, just a superficial graze. I felt no pain at all. When I got home, I washed my hands and arms with soap and water, then applied Muravena, an Ayurvedic oil, to the graze. I went to bed at about 21:30 hours. I woke up around 0100 hours in acute pain. My right elbow was hurting so badly it startled me awake. During my short sleep, I had a recurring dream, one of those that stops midway and restarts, the kind I usually associate with trauma. The pain was confined to my right elbow joint, and what intrigued me most was that I could not pinpoint its exact location. It seemed to come from somewhere vaguely inside the elbow joint, but despite gently palpating and pressing around the area, I couldn't identify where the pain originated. It was very strange. In terms of intensity, it was severe, the kind that would normally require arcoxia. Paracetamol certainly wouldn't touch it, maybe not even Celebrex. But taking medication meant eating something first, as I had gone to bed without dinner. Too tired and sleepy to fix a meal, I simply reapplied Muravena oil and tried to ignore the pain. Since I was up anyway, and because the pain refused to subside, I decided to distract myself by writing. I wrote an article about herbal massage oils for inflammation. When the pain still persisted, I wrote another, this time on functional foods to reduce inflammation. Then another about the elbow joint itself. As I was researching that third piece, I came across a description of a maneuver that could relieve certain kinds of elbow pain, especially those involving the ulnar nerve. I stretched my right arm straight out in front of me, with my palm facing downward, forearm pronated, and made a peace sign, extending and separating my index and middle fingers. As I did this, I distinctly felt something slip or glide inside the elbow. Within a second or two, almost 90% of the acute pain vanished. The relief was immediate and unmistakable.
Okay, if you're really curious what the exercise entails, all you do is stretch your arm out like that and then make a peace sign. Make a V with your index finger and your middle finger, and you'll be amazed. By doing that, the nerve on the elbow will slip back into the correct position. I felt it slide back when I did that, and then immediately the pain disappears. So the pain was caused by the pinching of the nerve.
From my understanding of anatomy, what likely happened was that my ulnar nerve, which passes behind the inner bony ridge of the elbow through a narrow space called the cubital tunnel, had been displaced forward by the impact. When I extended my arm and spread my fingers, that movement gently widened the tunnel and guided the nerve back into its proper groove. The sensation of something moving back into place was exactly that, the ulnar nerve reseating itself. How the maneuver worked. When I straightened my arm, the triceps muscle at the back of my upper arm extended the elbow, momentarily expanding the cubital tunnel. At the same time, keeping my palm facing down engaged the pronator muscles in the forearm, which subtly shifted the tissues over the inner elbow. Finally, as I spread my fingers to form the V shape, My extensor muscles and interossae activated, creating balanced tension through the forearm and hand. That coordinated action gently drew the nerve back into its natural track, a perfect example of the body's own mechanical intelligence at work. Continuing the recovery. Now that the nerve is back in place, my focus is on reducing inflammation and keeping it gliding freely. For this, I use the same motion, but now with my palm facing upward, supinated, because this position relaxes the tissues around the cubital tunnel and allows the nerve to move more smoothly within its sheath. Here's what I do. I sit or stand comfortably with my arm supported. I extend my elbow, not locked, just comfortably straight. I turn my palm upward. I make the same peace sign, spreading the index and middle fingers. I hold this position for about 2 seconds, then relax completely. I repeat this 3 times in a row, once every hour or so throughout the day. This gentle exercise keeps the ulnar nerve mobile, promotes circulation, and helps calm the local inflammation without aggravating the joint. A more progressive version. As the elbow heals, I can make the exercise slightly more dynamic by alternating between both positions. 1. Pronation phase. Palm facing down, arm extended, make the peace sign and hold for 2 seconds. 2. Supination phase. Turn the palm up, make the same peace sign, and hold again for 2 seconds. Repeating this short sequence 3 times encourages the nerve to glide naturally through its full range, preventing adhesions and stiffness. My follow-up plan. I'll continue these self-mobilization exercises daily until my appointment with Associate Professor Dr. Mohammed Nahar Azmi Mohammed, Professor of Sports Medicine, on October 19th. His expertise in functional recovery and non-invasive sports medicine will allow me to confirm that the nerve has stabilized properly. If needed later, I would also consider consulting a chiropractor or osteopath, as they often specialize in gentle manipulative techniques to restore proper alignment and nerve function without resorting to surgery. Summary. In short, after my fall, I successfully relocated a temporary subluxation of my ulnar nerve by extending my elbow, keeping my palm down, and spreading my fingers. Now I'm using a gentle supinated version of the same movement, in sets of 3, holding each for about 2 seconds, to encourage healing, reduce inflammation, and maintain smooth nerve mobility. I will review the situation with Prof. Nahar later this month, ensuring the recovery stays on track through conservative, intelligent care rather than invasive surgical procedures.